On Whirlwind. The score is 1-1, spawning in the top left position as our red Terran player from Team Empire. It is Kas. And spawning in the bottom right position as our green Protoss player. Last game, this was such a weird game. We had really fast third bases for both players, and he went for a very, very interesting triple nexus mass gateway attack, but wasn't able to bring that the victory. He's from XMG, and he is Monchi. Our observer says, "Oh man, thank you for allowing us to watch this game." Obviously, citing the mild technical difficulty that we did have, but all is well now, so shouldn't have anything to really worry about. Whirlwind, in terms of TVP, I actually love this map. The way that the visuals for it. I don't know if you guys like noticed, but this looks like a really, really nice. A really, really nice like filter that they have over the map in terms of like quality. But it looks like we're going to see a command center first out of Kas. He's not building a barracks. He's just continuing to queue up SCVs, and we're going to get a gateway first out of Monchi. So he's not going to be going for any sort of Nexus first build or anything like that. So there he is, the gas, and this is cross spawn Whirlwind. So this is going to be a very long walking distance between the bases. So Kas won't be punishable too much for what he's doing. He's actually going to build that command center on the low ground. His first supply depot was in his mineral line, so he wasn't really worried at any point. A little bit of a misclick on his SCVs there. Although, like one of those rare glimpses where you get to see that happen. But and one barracks follow-up. I feel like we should see a second barracks at about 17 supply. Usually you queue up your next SCV and move it over. But we're going to have the Nexus down for Monchi before the Cybernetics core. So this is a slightly greedy play. But it allows you to get your tech up at a reasonable pace because you're still mining the gas, you're still getting the gateway, and by the time the Cybernetics core finishes, you can afford to get a Stalker, a Warp Gate, and a tech building if you mine enough gas. So it's not a terrible build from Monchi, and it also allows you to get a competitive Nexus timing versus a one barracks fast expand. However, we will have a faster natural expand for Kas either way because he did go for the CC first on that low ground. And his barracks are beginning to complete, so we're most likely going to see Kas move into just regular bio play. He was pretty greedy in the last game. He got away with it because of his opponent's build choice, and Monchi really overextended hard just trying to kill him with the big gateway push, but it's just to show the power of Stim and Medivacs. Once you get up a strong Bioforce, you need Colossi, you need High Templar with Storm to be able to shut down Terran Bio, and Monchi didn't have that, so we're gonna have to see if he's gonna mix things up this game. This build that he's gone for can be really aggressive. You get the expand and then just go straight for the aggression because you had the gateway, but he's on his 2 gas now. No tech building being built just yet for Monchi, so this does strike me curious as to what he wants to do. This probe will come into the natural. Doesn't actually see anything though. All he sees is there's a bunker being built, which is now complete, but he did not see the command center, so he doesn't actually know the timing for the command center because that bunker could still be timed pretty well with a 1 barracks fast expand. So I have to say Monchi has a little bit less information than he might want, but Kas will not be able to get any information either. This SCV will only be able to see where the starting position is when it goes down and finds the stalkers, but these units should be able to prevent an SCV from really scouting anything. And we're going to have 2 additional gateways for Monchi. I don't think he's going to try to be aggressive at all. His probe died. He'd have to send another one all the way across the map, and he's going to begin to scout with this Stalker, which is pretty normal. I like this, and we're going to see a fast third command center out of Kas once again. And this is interesting because he's done it with a build where he's kind of timed this out that he's still get a somewhat normal stim, but he won't have anywhere near as many units. He's only been on these 2 barracks for a little while. Typically, you want to go straight for your 3rd racks and get your add-ons when you can afford to, but he's going to get his 3rd barracks late. Might actually just go straight up to 5 racks like last game, but we're going to see 3 more warp gates being built for Monchi. He's going to go straight up to 6 gateways before any amount of tech, and he could try to do a big cross map push. We have a proxy pylon being built in the third, it could possibly be fourth area for Kas. He has a Marine patrolling outside, but he does not see this, and this is where things can get really, really scary for a Terran player. He has one bunker. He's going to get a second one. It's a pretty good instinctive bunker to throw down. Based on what he knows of what his opponent's doing, all he knows is he got the expansion, so he can't be too safe right now. And there's already 4 stalkers up here. He's beginning to bring up the 4 sentries, 5. So this is going to be a lot of force fields available to shut this wall down. He's going to need to have SCVs pulled pretty quickly if he wants to be able to deal with this in time. This is a really scary push coming from the Protoss player. Now he's going to move down outside the natural. He's going to kill this Marine, and Kas sees this. That Marine actually not dead just yet. Ooh, Stalker taking a lot of damage. Force fields go down. The Zealots move up, but they're behind the army. The first bunker is going to fall. He's pulled the SCVs. He's trying to get a repair off, but he might just kill this second bunker here, and that's going to be huge. Kas trying to get the SCVs over, barely gets there to repair, but he will not be enough. He's gonna have to lose those, but he's moving down the ramp now. He's just gonna try to chase Monchi's army, and this is where the Zealots do a lot of damage versus these SCVs. Monchi, he's doing quite a bit of work here. We have 12 SCVs, 13 killed so far by Monchi. A pretty nice catch considering that he has this natural expansion pretty much nearing saturation. With these 13 probes, so he's in a pretty good position. He had this saturated for a while. We should see a robotics facility go down, but it's going to be a Twilight Council instead, so he's not going to go for that AoE just yet, or maybe he'll just go straight for the High Templar this game. So I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see. Stalkers are moving across the field now. We have the Forge as well, and the starport's really late for Kas because of the timing of this. But it's about a minute or 2 late. Not a huge deal though, because he can't really put out too much just yet. He lost a fair bit of economy, and he's going to be good to push across the map now. Most of his army was still intact, keep in mind, guys. So the force fields will have to be used to defend. Looks like Monchi wants to get a third Nexus. He can't really afford it right now, and especially with this Bioforce coming, if he did have a third, it'd be more than certain that Kas would be able to force a cancel on it, possibly kill it. So he needs to make sure he doesn't force his way up this ramp. He has stim, but this could go bad very quickly. And there he's going to get force fielded. He has to stim. The Zealot's doing a nice bit of damage. He's running up, trying to focus down the expensive units. He manages to get 1 sentry, 2 sentry. He's actually doing a lot of damage. The expensive units for Monchi are actually all dead. Has these stalkers that he warped in, and the weak one from earlier. But Kas took out a lot of expensive units and traded them for the bio. He needs to be careful. He's ahead in supply right now. He's getting his medevacs out. He's going to get his additional barracks up. We have actually 2 queued right now. And he's got that 3rd command center moved over to the 3rd base. So Kas has recovered pretty well from this. I have to say his macro has been really top-notch to be able to take these kinds of attacks so early on and pull himself back. So I really like how Kas is playing this right now, and Monchi, he's going to go for that Templar Archives. He's going to get charged this time before Blink, though, which I think is a really good idea. And it looks like Monchi is really favoring this Charge Lot Archon style versus Terran, but Kas is just playing really, really solid. I will say his upgrade timings won't be as sharp as in the previous game, but it's still looking pretty good overall. He's got the engineering base going. His +1 armor is about to finish, and his armory timing will match that. So it's all right, in all honesty, because the +1 armor is only just about to finish for Monchi, and then he's going to go straight into +1 attack. So he's not going to use the Twilight Council to get a fast +2 armor, which I feel like is a good thing to do when you're going for Charge Lot Archon, just because you have so many Zealots. There's so many tanky units, but now Kas is beginning to move across the field. He has quite a bit. Storm is about halfway done for our Protoss player, so Monchi needs to be very careful with how he handles this engagement. He might have to cancel his 3rd base to deal with this because he doesn't have the Storm yet. He has the Templar, he can feed back the medevacs, but he really needs AoE to deal with all of these Marines and Marauders that are going to begin to pressure him. And he's going to move to this 3rd base. I really think Monchi needs to cancel that. He will not, so it's going to start to take a lot of damage, and I think Kas is going to be able to just kill that. Factory's luring some units back, but Kas is going to get that 3rd base for free, and that's also going to supply block Monchi, so this is a really good timing from Kas, and it looks like he's just going to pick up. He might try to jump into the main. The army is completely out of position to deal with this, and here we go. Kas is heading over to that main base, going for the Doom drop. The factory is positioned over the top of that ramp, and the forces are moving in now. Storm is complete, so it's going to take some good splitting by Kas, but he says, you know what? Forget it. I've done enough damage. I'm going to move back now. I saw your army moving up. And that's the cool thing about the factory is he saw all the units heading up the ramp, so he knew that his stay would be short-lived if he tried to go for a big drop. And, well, he doesn't need to do much else because he has the 3rd command center. He's fully saturated. He's got a ton of SCVs. 74 is all he needs for the rest of the game. He's got that 2-2 upgrade going. He has his Mobius reactor going for his ghosts. He has ghosts coming out. He is really going into like macro machine mode. For a Terran player. 5 gates being added on by Monchi. He may just go all in off of 2 bases, and this is going to be really hard to pull off properly because Kas will be ahead in upgrades very soon, and he's just been really focusing on this Marine Marauder. 1 storm does go down, but there's, you know what, there's a lot of storms available, but not too many actual units to buffer and deal damage. All Kas needs to do is pull back, heal his units. Pull back, heal his units again, and he can take these trades for a while because the Templar energy takes so long to regenerate, so Kas's +2 attack is done. There's a big force being warped in outside of his natural. Is Monchi going to be able to do this? He's down 40 supply. He doesn't quite have the economy backing his production like he did the last game. The ghosts are going to move up. There's a lot of charge lots, but these ghosts, there's now no stalkers really to snipe them, no colossi to snipe them. And he's just going to move in. EMP hits all of the High Templar. No storms. GG from XMG Monchi. Kas will take game number 3.